Naruto, Reborn Prodigy, Master of all Ninjutsu. Episode 111. Although Cardo is just an ordinary person, but after all, there are a lot of ninjas gathered around him, and if he really wants to do it, it will definitely not be so easy. If it is for Konoha, it makes sense. After all, Naruto grew up in Konoha village. But for a country of waves, it seems that it doesn't make sense. Kakashi finally sighed and shook his head. Hey, it seems that I thought too much. But after speaking, he glanced at Naruto again. Even though Naruto said that he didn't want to do anything good, in his opinion, this action would indeed bring great benefits to the country of waves. That's why Kakashi got involved. Although he is not so principled, if he really does something bad, he will not participate. Sakura didn't speak the whole time, just listened to the two chatting about the sky. It's just that the more I get along with Naruto, the more I feel that Naruto is different from him in the past. She wanted to be close to Naruto, but she didn't. It felt very strange. As for Sasuke, he wasn't interested in what they were talking about at all. He participated in this operation just to prove his strength. After eating, everyone thought Kakashi would pay, but when he turned his head to look, he found that Kakashi had disappeared. Naruto looked speechless. He knew very well that this was Kakashi's regular operation. But Sakura exclaimed, "What about Kakashi-sensei?" Naruto got up slowly and took the initiative to pay. "I guess I don't want to pay and go first." Sakura couldn't believe it. Is Kakashi-sensei this kind of person? What's so strange? Naruto looked indifferent. Sakura watched Naruto pay, but her mouth was chanting. "Kakashi-sensei is our teacher. Isn't it natural for him to pay for a meal? Actually made you pay? It's normal." Naruto looked indifferent. After buying the order, Naruto walked in front, and Sasuke and Sakura followed him left and right. Walk out of the store. Sakura looked at Naruto and she asked, "You seem to know Kakashi-sensei very well, and you guessed that Kakashi-sensei was late last time. Did you know Kakashi-sensei before?" "Almost." Naruto replied, "I don't just know Kakashi-sensei, I know each and every one of you. After all, he was a crosser. Except for the original author, I am afraid that no one knows the world better than him." Of course, he wouldn't tell Sakura that. Sakura looked curious. "Really fake? That means, you know me well?" "Sort of." Naruto replied, "Even if you ask me to tell you your measurements, I can tell you clearly." Sakura didn't mean that, but as soon as she said this, her face immediately turned red. "Naruto, what are you talking about?" Sasuke on the side had black lines on his face. "Am I really okay with these two kissing me in front of myself?" At this moment, Kakashi was waiting for them in front, and he beckoned cheekily, "Yo, I am here." Without waiting for Naruto's response, Sakura rushed directly to Kakashi and accused Kakashi. "Kakashi-sensei, how can you be so cunning? Actually left before us." Kakashi looked like he was fine. You guys eat too slowly, so I'll take the lead." "That's not a reason. You are our teacher, you should have paid for it." The two began to argue over this issue. In fact, only Sakura was blaming, and Kakashi didn't respond positively to the question at all. It seems to be arguing, but the picture is particularly warm. Naruto and Sasuke walked side by side. At this time, Sasuke's eyes fell on Naruto's body, and he said coldly, "You are very strong." Naruto glanced at Sasuke and said, "Thanks for the compliment." These words made Sasuke's eyebrows sink, with a bit of anger. "I'm not praising you. I just want to tell you that sooner or later, I will become stronger than you." "Huh," Naruto sneered, meeting Sasuke's challenging eyes. "I'm waiting for the day when you become stronger than me, but I think that day will come a little later. After all, your plug-in is still on the way." The opportunity for Sasuke to become stronger was the appearance of Orochimaru, Naruto's stimulation, and the seduction of Itachi. It can be said that none of these three factors is missing. In the end, Sasuke has to kill Orochimaru and Itachi, so that he can be considered truly stronger. Now I haven't even started the Chunin exam. His body has not yet been planted with a spell, the ferret has not yet brought someone to catch himself, and everything does not know when it will begin. But Sasuke felt that Naruto's words were strange. "What do you mean by this?" Naruto had a smile on his face, literally. Saying that, he took 2 steps forward while Sasuke stood still. Suddenly, Naruto stopped in his tracks and looked back at Sasuke. "By the way, if someone asks you to let go of hatred in the future, don't listen. Because you can only become stronger if you have hatred in your heart, so that you can kill the enemy in your heart." Sasuke's eyes became very surprised. What is Naruto talking about? He knew he was going to kill someone? Don't be surprised, I should have said that, right? I know each and every one of you well, including you. After speaking, he stopped taking Sasuke. This is also a help to Sasuke. He was only 12 years old, but he was carrying the anger and hatred of the whole clan, which was actually very painful. But human growth is often accompanied by pain. Especially in this ninja world where you die or I die. Sasuke was thinking about what Naruto said. He couldn't understand the boy in front of him, who was the same age as himself, but much more mature. It's just that before he could figure it out, he didn't cut and white appeared. The two suddenly appeared like ghosts and did not give anyone a reaction. Sakura, who was originally arguing with Kakashi, was startled when she looked back and saw Zaibu and Shiro. She quickly hid behind Kakashi, with a hint of blame. "You, why did you suddenly appear?" No sound at all. No more, cut a gloomy face. It's you who are too defenseless, walking so carelessly. If I want to assassinate you, this time you will die. Unsuspecting ninjas are terrifying. Kakashi looked indifferent. Your words are a bit exaggerated, not to mention whether you are my opponent. You can't even beat Naruto. These words poked at the sore spot that could not be cut again. I can't even beat a 12-year-old child. I really can't say it. But to lose is to lose, although not convinced, but he still admitted. Episode 114. At this time, Zaibu and Bai, who had been hiding in the shadows, appeared. It's also part of their plan. This time, not only to get the money, but also to give Cardo a good taste of what it feels like to collapse. Seeing the appearance of Zaiwu and Shiro, Cardo seemed to see a savior. Just now I was scared to pee my pants, but at this time I actually laughed. Ha ha ha. No more chopping. You, hurry up and kill these 4 dog mongrels. These people are literally going to turn the sky upside down, and they actually want to blackmail me into giving them money. However, there was no movement without chopping. This made Cardo angry, and he glared angrily and did not cut again. No more chopping. What are you still standing there for? I'm your employer. You don't even listen to me. No longer, cut his hands crossed, and looked at Cardo indifferently. Uncle Ben just collected money to help you kill Danas, but he didn't say that he wanted to protect you. What does it have to do with me whether these people kill you or not? Cardo almost collapsed. It's all this time, and he still cares so much. You, what are you talking about? Believe it or not, I don't give you the final payment. If I die, you won't get the money. No longer, cut his eyebrows and gloomy, with a hint of killing intent. You dare to threaten Uncle Ben? Cardo was hairy, by no longer being stared. This man is not chopped. Even if you want to save your life now, you must compromise first. I was wrong. You just kill the 4 of them, I'll give you money. You can do as much as you want. No more nodding in satisfaction. However, he still did not shoot directly, but asked, you first say, how much money do you want to pay? You kill these people first, and then we will slowly negotiate the price. Cardo had long been frightened by the sword pointed at his neck. Where else to notice the problem? He didn't seem to have noticed that these kidnappers didn't say a word when they were negotiating with Zaibu. The real kidnapper is not allowed to show up a third party, but Cardo is a timid man. Although ambitious, he is very afraid of death. Otherwise, you wouldn't have spent so much money to protect yourself. Cardo, do you dare to negotiate terms with Uncle Ben? One word, one look. Cardo didn't dare to say anything more. He knew that he was not a good person to provoke. But the only thing he can rely on now is not to cut again. So, Cardo had to speak. You 50 million. 20 million more than the previous reward for you. How is it? No longer seems to be in a hurry, and directly found a place to sit, looking like a grandfather. It seems that you think your life is only worth 50 million, to put it mildly. He even took down his big knife and stroked it gently, as if he was comforting his hungry big knife. Seeing this, Cardo was anxious, and quickly said, then, that's 80 million. If you don't cut it, you are still unmoved. He can take 30 million alone. Now there are 6 people in total, and it will take more to do anything. 80 million, which is too chilling. Cardo was really in a hurry. Because Naruto's sword was a little closer again, he felt like he was going to die in the next second. In a panic, Cardo had to raise the price again. In the end, he almost gritted his teeth and cried out with a sad face, 500 million. I'll give you 500 million. You help me kill all these people. I'll give you 500 million. After no more chopping, he finally stopped stroking his big knife. Looking at Cardo, he smiled with satisfaction. I am satisfied with this price. At this point, Cardo laughed as if he saw hope. Of course, as long as you kill these people, you can as much as you want. No more chopping up. The big knife in his hand hit the ground directly, and the floor shook because of it. Pay first, and I'll help you kill. What? My words are hard to understand? You give me the money first, and I'll help you kill these people. Cardo felt that something seemed wrong, but he was carried away by fear, and for a moment he didn't even think clearly about what was wrong. But as a businessman, and a cunning businessman, it is absolutely impossible for him to hand over the money easily at this time. So he said, I don't have any money on me, but if you kill all 4 of them, I'll take you to get the money. Naruto was very helpless. This Kato is quite good at maneuvering, and this Cardo brain feels bad. Didn't he find out that he was in the same group as Zai Wubu Chop? Unexpectedly so calmly negotiating the price with Zai? It seems that this Cardo is really afraid of death, and is already so afraid that he doesn't even have common sense. But yes, this saves a lot of trouble. It's just that this Cardo is so good at maneuvering, it's not so easy to get money. Right at this time, Shiro suddenly spoke. I remember that there was a small vault behind Kakardo's office, although there was no cash, but there were gold bars. If he didn't cut it, he said with a smile, you can also use gold bars. Cardo's heart was shocked, and he looked at Shiro as if he were looking at an enemy. How did this kid know he had a vault? Bai looked indifferent. If you want to know your treasury, it's not difficult. If you want to live, give money first. Cardo is helpless. Someone points a sword at himself. If he wants to live, he must pay money. Money is important, but life is also very important. Big deal, after surviving, just spend a lot of money to kill it again. Anyway, in this world, there is nothing that money can't do. Good. I'll go open the vault. But, you subdued these people first. Without further slashing, the big knife bounced Naruto's sword away. He reached out and grabbed Cardo's shoulder, looking unforgiving. Then take me to get the money first. Cardo saw that he had escaped, and he actually began to be arrogant. The four of you see no. If you don't cut me again, you will protect me. He wants money, and you also want money, or you fight? Whoever wins, I will give money to whomever it takes. Humph, how could it be so easy to make him spend more money? When you both beat you to death, I'll run. However, the voice fell. Naruto and Zayan Chop took out their weapons and pointed them at Kado almost at the same time. Episode 115. If he didn't slash, he threatened Cardo like a god of death. Do you think his sword is fast, or mine is fast? Cardo was simply scared to death. And just now a sword was pointed at himself. Now it's two. His legs were shaking. When he spoke, the whole person was not good. You, what the hell do you want to do? Didn't I promise to give you money? Don't think I don't know you're going to play tricks. Want us to kill each other and run away ourselves? You also think too highly of yourself. Against you, I only need one finger. Cardo knew that he was no match for no more slashes. Naruto still plays the bad guy. Lord Cardo, you might as well open the vault first, so that we can divide the money equally, otherwise, I can only kill you like this if I don't cut it off. I'll take you to the vault. Take you to the vault now. Anyway, as long as they both kill each other, not only did he have to escape during the private fight between the two sides, but he also had to move the rescuers. At that time, the 6 of them, none of them will want to run. He knows best as a businessman how tempting money is. Money can make ghosts push and grind, and ninjas can kill each other. After thinking about it, he took everyone to the vault and opened the vault with his fingerprints. The moment it opened, everyone was stunned. That's just a portion of Cardo's money. After all, this is just a temporary office he set up. But the number of gold bars blinds everyone's eyes. A dozen blue metal shelves piled with gold bars. Even if I didn't look at it again, I was extremely surprised. Naruto looked at the gold bars, directly took one in his hand, and weighed it. This gold bar must have 500 grams, right? Glancing at the gold bars on the shelf, he raised his voice a little excitedly. This is less than 10,000, right? Sakura reached behind her and counted, looking incredulous. How much is more than 10,500-gram gold bars? Kakashi did a rough calculation. Probably more than a billion billions? Bai echoed on the side. It's about 1.3 billion. Oh my god. Billion. Excited Sakura accidentally lifted the transfiguration, and her original appearance and voice were revealed. In that instant, Cardo realized the seriousness of the problem. You. Aren't you the one who protects Dana's? Sakura, who was found, instantly panicked, and she quickly covered her face. What to do? I was seen in the face. Kakashi sighed helplessly. He thought he could keep pretending like this. Now his own students are exposed. Keep pretending. So, he also had to lift the transformation technique and reveal his own appearance. It's still comfortable to be yourself, and you don't need to be yin and yang weird when you speak. After that, Sasuke and Naruto dismissed the transformation, respectively. Cardo's eyes widened. He received the information early and naturally knew these people. They were all ninjas sent by Konoha to protect Dana's, but they are actually here now? Why? Looking at the confused Kato, Naruto couldn't help it, and reminded him, who has held you hostage and still gets along so well with the people who want to protect you? When you don't discuss again, we didn't say a word. At this time, Cardo finally realized that something was wrong. Atmosphere. The atmosphere between those who held them hostage and those who did not kill them just now was too harmonious. And they didn't look like people who were about to fight. You're in a gang. Standing behind Cardo without chopping, he sneered. I found out at this time, it's too late. Cardo swallowed, as he said. At this time, he found that it was too late. He couldn't help but retreat one after another, and he wanted to leave. These money are all yours, don't kill me. Leave me with my life. However, he walked up slowly and caught up with him. I'd rather see how you escaped from me, a trash mist ninja. Before, Cardo said that if he didn't cut it, he didn't forget it. Don't give Cardo nonsense, just kill Cardo. Sakura watched from the sidelines. The blood stained the ground red, and even some gold bars. It was as if she had seen hell. She knew, being a ninja, sooner or later, she would have to face these life and death. But she didn't expect it to be in this way. At this time, Naruto was standing in front of her. She couldn't help but grab Naruto's clothes, her voice trembling slightly. Naruto, is it really okay for us to do this? Naruto sensed Sakura's fear, and he knew that Sakura was just a 12-year-old girl. Seeing a person die in front of him like this, it is natural to be afraid. He patted the back of her hand behind him and said, sooner or later, we have to face it, just adapt to it in advance. Besides, this time if it is not for our strength above the slash, it will be dead, but us. Sakura knew it was right, but she wasn't that easy to accept. On the contrary, Sasuke understood this matter very well. If you don't kill him, sooner or later he will find someone to kill us, and the best solution is to let him die here. Naruto glanced at Sasuke and praised with a smile, teachable. It's like an Avenger. However, in Naruto's understanding, Sasuke is the one who kills no one except Itachi. Even if it is an enemy, it's just that it is impossible to resist. Of course, none of this matters, and it has nothing to do with him. Kakashi stood up to comfort Sakura. As a ninja, either you kill the other person or the other person kills you. Sakura, you must always remember this. Don't have too much mercy. Sometimes mercy will kill you. Sakura looked at Kakashi. Some of the beliefs in my heart seem to be changing. Naruto removed the hand that was placed on the back of her hand and walked over to get the gold bar. With so many gold bars, if I take 60%, it seems to be difficult to move. Kakashi also had a headache. Don't say it's your 60%, even if it's my share, it's difficult to ship off. Without cutting off his expression of indifference, he directly picked up a gold bar. I don't seem to have won much this time, only more than 80 million. Bai's voice sounded behind the rebellion, and said, my share is not beheaded. If you calculate it this way, you can get more than 160 million without chopping. Compared with the previous 30 million, it is a lot more. Without another glance at Shiro, he did not speak. This kid has always been like this. He doesn't care about anything. Whether it's money or anything else, he doesn't seem to care. Episode 116. Others do not understand, but Naruto knew. For Bai, not chopping is his own day. When he was a child, if he hadn't been picked up from the side of the street, he might have starved to death. And all his strength, and even the means of killing, are no longer slashed. If he didn't cut again, he wouldn't be where he is now. In order not to be beheaded, let alone his own life, even the last bit of dignity or even a little conscience can be dispensed with. He was a kind man who did not like to kill and was even an idealist. But no more beheading is different, a man who lives on the blade. So no matter where you go, you need to touch blood. In order not to be chopped, Shiro can dye himself all over and even make himself a real ninja, or a real killer. As long as he doesn't think about it, he can do anything. Not to mention this little money. The crowd guarded this vault, and those who were guarding outside had no idea that Cardo was dead and was lying beside the vault at this time. They want to do it so quietly, and there is also a purpose, that is, so that they can have a chance to escape. Kakashi, who used to be in the shadows, naturally knew to hunt down the ninja troops, and he reminded, we have also worked together for a long time, now take advantage of the night. It is best to leave immediately. Cardo is dead is a big thing. The misty chasing ninja will catch up sooner or later. If he doesn't hurry, he has to find a way to take his gold bars away. No hurry, Cardo's death will not be spread until at least tomorrow morning. Instead of worrying, you should care about what happens to your gold bars. This gave Naruto a headache. He only thought about how to make more money. But I didn't expect that what Cardo saved turned out to be something as complicated as gold bars. Good thing I brought some seal scrolls. Kakashi stood up and mouthed. I saw that his fingers were imprinted and he landed on the ground with one hand. With a bang, some scrolls appeared in front of everyone. Immediately, Kakashi picked up the scrolls on the ground and handed them to Naruto. These scrolls, you will each of them. It will be much more convenient to seal the gold bars into the scrolls and take them away. Seal the scroll. This thing, Tsunade had brought before, and it contained medical books. Unexpectedly, Kakashi also carried it with him. Naruto smiled and said, Kakashi-sensei is quite well prepared, thank you in advance. He was just about to reach for it, but Kakashi withdrew his hand again and extended his other hand with a smile on his face. 2 gold bars and 1 scroll, no bargaining. Naruto's face was full of black lines, and Sakura couldn't help but blame. Kakashi-sensei, you are too much. You still have to find us to collect money. Well, these are always my money. I asked you for a service fee, right? No more cold snort. He drew his share of gold bars and gave them to Kakashi. I didn't expect that the copy ninja is also so greedy for money. This is a service fee for you. Kakashi accepted it unceremoniously and handed the scroll over. Thank you for your patronage. Seeing that there was no compromise, Naruto and the others naturally did not refuse. With so many gold bars, even giving Kakashi 2 is nothing. Everyone put the gold bars into the sealing scroll, and the office was peaceful. Finally, don't say hello to everyone. I hope that the next time we meet, I will not be an enemy, but if it is still an enemy, I will definitely not lose again if I don't kill it. Saying that, his eyes fell on Naruto. Little ghost, you are very strong. But Uncle Ben is not easy to mess with, I remember you. Naruto smiled nonchalantly, even if we fight again next time, you will not be my opponent. Then you boy wait for me to defeat you. A brush. No more chopping and white disappearing at the same time. Naruto just smiled and didn't speak. In his opinion, no matter when he appears again, he will not be his opponent. If he doesn't cut it, he will grow, and Naruto will grow too. And he is carrying a plug-in, and the speed of growth will definitely not be slower than no longer chopping. We should also go, and then in the evening, if we are discovered, it will be trouble. It is known that Kakashi, a copy ninja of Konoha, took his students to seek wealth and kill people, and Konoha's reputation will not be known in the future. It's a crazy thing for them, but this madness will be sealed forever by the night, and no one will know about it, except for the Tenzo hiding in the shadows. Without everyone's knowledge, Kakashi and the others left. Before coming to Cardo, they had already booked a hotel to avoid being discovered about their abnormality. After dealing with these things, the four returned to the hotel together. Before they returned to their rooms, Kakashi reminded everyone, before returning to Konoha, I have something to teach you, so tomorrow you all get up early, don't sleep in, and assemble in the woods at 7 o'clock in the morning. Sakura muttered with a hint of dissatisfaction. Kakashi-sensei, wouldn't it be too strict? It's all so late now, and the sleep time is less than 3 hours at all. It's a bit strict, but you're a ninja now, and this is one of the practices. Sakura, don't complain. Although complaining, Sakura obediently responded, well, I'll definitely get up early tomorrow. Kakashi snorted and went back to his room. Sasuke also returned to the room without a word. Even if he got so many gold bars, he didn't look very happy. He wasn't interested in gold bars or anything. Before entering the room, he also glanced at Naruto. For him, Naruto was now his target. Beyond Naruto, it was possible to kill the man. When Sasuke closed the door, Sakura was about to go back to her room, but turned to look at Naruto again. At this time, Naruto had already pushed his door open, noticing the look in Sakura's eyes, and he asked suspiciously, what's wrong? If you are not in a hurry to go to sleep, do you want to share a room with me? These words made Sakura's face instantly redden, but she still kept a little calm when she spoke. Really, Naruto, what are you talking about? I was just want to thank you. Thank me? Thank me for what? Thank you for encouraging me today. In fact, I am afraid of that kind of scene. It is really scary to see dead people. Sakura didn't lie to anyone. Naruto thought for a moment, with a bad smile on his face. Isn't it a little sloppy to just say thank you? Aren't you going to thank me with actions? Sakura was slightly stunned. Action? How do you want me to thank you? For example, make a pledge to sleep with me tonight? The words were fluttering, and Sakura's face was red and dripping with blood. Episode 117. Sakura had a hint of anger on her face, more shyness. She clenched her hands into fists and raised her voice. Naruto, you owe a beating. Ha ha ha, I'm kidding you. Besides, the voice is still small in the middle of the night, but we just came back from something bad. After speaking, Naruto went directly into the room. Go to bed early. It's not early, you have to get up early tomorrow. After that, I just closed the door. Facing Naruto's cold door, Sakura, who had a red face, stood in place for half a day without moving. She blinked, thinking back to what Naruto had just said. She puffed out her cheeks and said to herself with a hint of anger, really, why did Naruto like making fun of me more and more? What is it to sleep with him for a night? The last one turned around, went back to the room and closed the door. I thought I could get a good night's sleep, but because of Naruto's words, Sakura couldn't sleep all night. All that appeared in front of his eyes was Naruto's smile, and he kept saying those frivolous words. It was clear that Naruto's words made people extremely angry, but they made her hate it. Her thoughts about Naruto seemed to be gradually changing and moving in an unpredictable direction. Until the sky was dark, Sakura never really fell asleep. Finally she simply got up, and she was there alone. Aya. Really, how can I always think about Naruto? I must be crazy. He's just kidding you. Come to think of it, Sakura was a little lost. How nice it would be if Naruto was a little serious, but Naruto always teased her with that joking expression. Minutes and seconds passed, and it was 6:30 in the morning, and Sakura was going to go out. Before going out, he also glanced at Naruto's door, thinking about yesterday's conversation with Naruto, and finally gave up knocking, and went directly to the woods to gather. 7 o'clock. Sakura arrived on time, but Sasuke, Kakashi, and Naruto didn't arrive. This made Sakura feel strange. Is it because I didn't sleep well yesterday and I misremembered the time? Not a 7 o'clock assembly? It wasn't until 9 o'clock that Sakura finally couldn't sit still. She rubbed up from the ground and said a little angrily, really? Why hasn't it arrived yet? The voice just fell. Kakashi's voice rang out in his head. Sorry, I got lost on the road of life again today. Sakura looked up. Kakashi was found standing on a branch above his head, still holding an Intimate Paradise book in his hand. Kakashi-sensei. You're late again. Sorry. After speaking, he looked around. How is it alone? What about Naruto and Sasuke? They haven't come yet, they don't know what to do. It didn't take long. Naruto and Sasuke walked over shoulder to shoulder. From the time they walked out of the hotel to here, the two did not say a word, as if they were just strangers on the same road. Saw the two coming over. Sakura subconsciously dropped her gaze on Naruto. It's all to blame Naruto, she didn't sleep well yesterday. Kakashi jumped down from the tree and teased Naruto and Sasuke. Yo, the two have a good relationship, they are all together when they are late. Sakura followed up with a sentence. Why are you too late? Didn't you say that you would meet at 7 o'clock? Naruto stepped forward and said with an expression that he was right. Kakashi-sensei is always late and says to meet at 7 o'clock, but he himself will definitely not arrive on time, so he slept a little. In this regard, Kakashi did not think that he was wrong, but said leisurely, "I'm late for a reason, definitely not because I'm sleeping in." The question was inconclusive, and Kakashi didn't want to go any further. After all, he was indeed late. Finally, he coughed lightly twice. "This matter aside, I have important knowledge to teach you today." Only then did everyone focus on Kakashi, although Kakashi hasn't said yet. But looking at the surroundings, Naruto had basically guessed. Presumably to teach them how to control chakra and climb directly to the top of the tree without using their hands. Unexpectedly, this paragraph also followed the original plot. Of course, this was originally in Kakashi's lesson plan, but it happened to be taught to them in the Land of Waves. Sure enough. Next, Kakashi demonstrated how to manipulate chakra to climb trees, and both Sakura and Sasuke were slightly amazed. However, Naruto yawned in boredom. After that, it was their turn to practice. Now, Naruto is completely different, and there is no difficulty at all for controlling chakra to climb trees. So he stepped on the footboard and climbed to the top of the tree very smoothly, without consuming any energy. Sakura climbed up as well, but a little tougher than Naruto. The teenager Sasuke, who has always been called a genius, ran into a problem instead. He either chakra too much, or too little, or not well controlled. Anyway, it is really not so simple to go directly up. When he fell to the ground, looking at Naruto and Sakura who were already standing on the branches, he began to wonder if his strength could work. Even Kakashi on the side praised Naruto and Sakura with a smile. "You two are doing very well, Sasuke, you have to be serious, otherwise, you will be caught up by the two of them." Sasuke frowned. He didn't hesitate and continued to practice. But Naruto knew very well, he knew that Sasuke was so easy to get the hang of it. According to the original book, Naruto asked Sakura and learned some tricks. As for Sasuke, it was practice with Naruto, and in the end the two helped each other back to the residence in embarrassment. Looked at the time, Naruto didn't want to waste time on this. He jumped straight down from the tree and said to Sasuke, "The method is actually very simple. To control chakra without distractions, do not have any wavering. To put it bluntly, guard against arrogance and irritability, and don't think about anything." After speaking, he looked at Kakashi. "Kakashi-sensei, I've learned it. Can I move freely?" Although Kakashi was tempted to say no, but Naruto had mastered it easily, and it was useless to leave him behind. Finally waved his hand, "As you like, but don't go too far, you have to be within the range I know." "Well, I won't go far, then I'll go shopping over there." After speaking, Naruto directly left Kakashi and the others and left. Sakura was still sitting on the branch, and she watched Naruto leave, muttering with a small mouth, "Really, I ran away alone, and I didn't know to take me with me." At this time, Kakashi looked at Sakura sitting on the branch, and he asked. Episode 118. It's just a very simple inquiry. But Sakura wanted to be crooked, and she quickly retorted, Who's going to be free with him?" "Kakashi-sensei, don't talk nonsense." Sakura's words made Kakashi look confused. Did he say anything? Isn't it just a question? I don't know. Sakura thought Kakashi thought she liked Naruto, so she was a little flustered. However, Kakashi didn't think about it at all. Sasuke, who was raised by Naruto, frowned. He was a little unconvinced by a crane tail point, and he was even more unconvinced that he was the least useful of the three. Gritting his teeth, he secretly tried. He was called a genius, but he knew that he was not a genius compared to that man. In the Uchiha clan, his brother is a genius recognized by everyone, including his own father. And he was just a mediocrity who couldn't even compare to half of his brother. In order to gain his father's approval, he could practice the art of fireball day after day. This time, in order to prove his strength and prove that he is not the tail of the crane, he will desperately practice how to control chakra, even if he is disapproved by the whole world, and definitely won't give up. He is a hardworking genius. Sasuke practiced desperately. Naruto, on the other hand, had already walked away and wandered leisurely. Looked around. Naruto continued to walk forward with a look like he was fine. In fact, he did not just want to come out to hang out, but planned to escape. There is nothing fun in Konoha village, and since he came out, he still wants to go somewhere else. So I just took the opportunity to come out. However, he also knew that it was not so easy to get out, because there was a secret patient staring at him. If you want to leave, you have to get rid of the other person. How to get rid of each other is also a science. Gradually, he walked to the edge of a sea. The country of waves is an island country, and you can go to a random place close to the sea. Naruto walked along the seashore to a rocky edge. The waves crashed against the reef, and the sea breeze bent over. Meanwhile, a little girl about 5 or 6 years old was playing in the sea, and she didn't know how to jump off the reef and reach for the shells on the seashore. Naruto took one more look. At this moment, a big wave came, and the little girl wanted to dodge when she saw this, but the other hand holding the stone was released in a panic. A low exclamation came. The little girl was swallowed by the waves and disappeared on the coast in an instant. Naruto frowned, didn't think much, jumped directly, felt the other party's breath, and directly reached out and grabbed the little girl who had not yet been swept away by the waves. At the same time that the waves faded, Naruto pulled hard, trying to pull the little girl to his side, but he felt that someone on the other side was also pulling hard. Turn your head and look. I found that a woman who was much taller than herself also reached out and pulled the little girl. Yitsong? Naruto subconsciously called out the other party's name. The other party was wearing off-the-shoulder clothes similar to the Cheongsam style, and the high neck did not make her appear short, but made her look more slender. The gray-purple cuffs will go from the wrist all the way to the armpits. Her smooth shoulders are perfectly exposed, and her waist is wrapped with bandages, which perfectly complements her waistline and career line. The forehead wears a sand ninja brace, green hair, and faulty orange bangs. Dress up like this. Naruto recognized it at a glance. After all, her faulty bangs are very recognizable. When Naruto called out his name, Yitsong's whole body was stunned, but not until then. She pulled the little girl to her side first and gently patted her back. The little girl coughed vigorously a few times, the seawater in her mouth spit out, and her eyes were wiped well by Yitsong. After that, the little girl saw everything in front of her clearly. She looked terrified. However, seeing that Yitsong was a woman, he seemed to be much relieved. She crashed into Yitsong's arms and couldn't help but cry. The waves just now really almost took her away, and the little girl was still in a state of fright. Yitsong patted her very gently. It's okay, pay attention when playing in the future. Don't come to such a dangerous place. The little girl nodded and said, "Thank you, big sister." At this time, Naruto said, "I saved you. Do you have to say thank you to me too?" Turning his head to see a blonde boy. It looks quite beautiful. But when the little girl's family said to keep her distance from the boys, she pouted, looking a little scared. Yitsong frowned, but he didn't care that the blonde boy in front of him was just a child. She directly picked up the little girl, jumped on the reef, and gently patted her head. "Hurry home, don't come here to play again, it's too dangerous." Being so protected by Yitsong, the little girl was very relieved, and she smiled sweetly, "Thank you, big sister." With that, he turned around and walked away. Before leaving, he still looked at Yitsong from time to time. If it weren't for the fact that she was really scared, she would have wanted to have a good chat with Yitsong more. After the little girl left, Naruto also jumped on the reef and walked to Hakura's side. Unexpectedly, "You are quite kind." Episode 119. In the original work, Yitsong appeared very often, but Naruto still knows something about her. Her ending was not good at all. She has always been named a hero by Shinobi Village, and everyone worships her. However, the decisive battle between Shine Village and Yenin Village is imminent, and Wuin Village is eyeing Sand Ninja Village again. In order to protect the Sand Hidden Village, the fourth generation of Mikai's Shadow Rosa tricked Yitsong into going to the Mist Hidden Village as an emissary under the pretext of performing a secret mission. When Hakura arrives at the Mist Hidden Village, she is attacked and killed by the Mist Hidden Village ninja disguised as a friendly army without any defense. Until the moment of death, Yitsong did not know that he was used as a pawn by the village. Exchange her death for a brief peace between Shine Village and Wuin Village. She died unwillingly, but no one cared what she thought. Because she is just one of the many ninjas in the Sand Hidden Village, it is her honor to die for the Sand Hidden Village. At least for those at the top. Now that she was in this wave country, Naruto guessed, presumably heading to the Mist Hidden Village. If he went to Wuin Village, Yitsong would die. At this moment, of course, Hakura did not know Naruto's conjectures. For Naruto's approach, she seemed to have a sense of distance. He didn't plan to talk to Naruto much at all, and he planned to leave directly. She has a mission on her. It's just passing through the country of waves, and you can't stay too long. Seeing Yitsong so cold, Naruto couldn't help but say, "It's better not to go to Mist Hidden Village, you won't have a good outcome there. Why don't you follow me to Konoha Village? I will marry you as a wife." The joking-like tone made Yitsong a little angry. "It's just that seeing that Naruto is just a child," she said lightly. "Little ghost, I don't have time to make such a funny joke with you." Saying that, he planned to bypass Naruto and want to leave directly. Naruto stopped in front of Ikura and brought the little ghost scoundrel to the extreme. "The second half of the sentence is indeed a joke with you, but the first half is serious. If you go to Wuin Village, you are looking for death, so I still advise you not to go. It's a pity to be killed so beautiful." Yitsong frowned, and his body retreated one after another. "I was probably too angry just now, but I didn't notice that Naruto talked about the Mist Hidden Village. She hadn't told anyone that she would go to Mist Hidden Village. But how did this kid know? Could it be that he was a spy sent by some hidden village? Although young, it is not impossible. After all, the ninja world, no matter how small it is possible to go to the battlefield." "I don't know what you're talking about. My destination is not Mist Hidden Village. I think you must have recognized the wrong person." "How can you recognize the wrong person? I called out your name and knew your destination, and you weren't at all curious about what I said?" "Sorry, not the slightest curiosity." Although Naruto reminded Hakura, it is indeed because Yitsong's background is a little pitiful. However, Yitsong was so unwilling to see himself, he was lazy to wake up. So Naruto shrugged, "Well, since you don't listen to advice so much, then I won't stop you." Finish speaking, Naruto headed in the other direction. This actually made Yitsong stunned in place. I thought that this blonde boy would continue to entangle himself, but I didn't expect to leave like this? And what does he mean when he says that he went to Wuin village to send him to death? Think so though. But she didn't think what Naruto said was true. However, he was ordered by the fourth generation of Wind Shadow Lord to go to Mist Hidden Village, and if he was alone, there should not be any big problem. If there really is a big problem, the fourth generation of Kazekage-sama will also inform themselves. Finally, he put Naruto's words behind him and stopped thinking about them. At this time, Naruto, who had turned around and planned to leave, suddenly stood on his feet. Mist Hidden Village? Is Terumi there too? At this point in time, she should not be a water shadow, right? If Yitsong is a beauty, then Xiaomei is a super beauty. After this sea, it used to be the land of water. Anyway, he doesn't know where to go. It's better to go to the land of water and see Terumi. Thinking of this, Naruto decided to do just that. So he turned around again and walked in the same direction as Yitsong. But instead of following, he walked to the reef just now. Standing there, looking at the sea in the distance, he directly threw off his shirt. This operation made Taianzo, who was hiding in the shadows, not understand. Is it because you can't talk to each other? You are a little angry, and you want to swim to relieve your distress? Thinking of this, Taianzo couldn't help but shake his head. Sure enough, it's still too young, such a young to pick up such a mature woman, of course, will fail. Not to be beaten is already a blessing. Right at this time, I saw Naruto plop down and jump directly into the sea. Tenzo, who was hiding in the shadows, was convinced that his analysis was right, so he didn't think there was anything wrong with Naruto doing so. Thinking that Naruto swam for a while, he would naturally get up. It's just that. 1 minute passed, 2 minutes passed, 5 minutes passed, and Naruto didn't even emerge. Even if it's swimming, it's time to change your breath, right? Thinking about it like this, Tianzong felt that something was wrong. Isn't Naruto encountering some water monster? Although he was sent to spy on Naruto, he could not put Naruto in danger. So, Tenzo appeared directly to rescue Naruto. However, as soon as he appeared, a head popped out of the water, jumped up and came directly to Taianzo. Looking at the person in front of him, Naruto recognized the other party at a glance. It turned out to be Yamato. This name was given to him by the 3 generations of Hokage-sama, but at this time, Tenzo hadn't been renamed yet. He naturally didn't know, just looked at Naruto strangely. Don't worry, I can't die. I just want to know if someone is really watching me in the shadows. These words made Taianzo a little stunned. Fooled yourself? Looking at Tenzo's expression, Naruto laughed again. Another thing, that is, please tell Kakashi-sensei, I will go out for a few days. If they practice well, they can go back to Konoha village first. They don't have to wait for me. They can also wait for me in the land of waves. It's all as you like. What? Tianzong felt more and more wrong. Even if you are discovered, you are still asked to be used as a microphone? Literally, anyway, you won't have any other work after I'm gone. Just tell Kakashi-sensei what I said. Tenzo's expression was serious, and he directly reached out and took Naruto's arm. Do you think I'll let you go? My task is to spy on you, and you just deceived me and made me a little angry. The voice just fell. A bang. The Naruto in front of him instantly turned into smoke. Shadow doppelganger? Tenzo was stunned. Naruto's shadow doppelganger actually tricked himself. A 12-year-old imp tricked himself? Tenzo wanted to go after Naruto, but he found that Naruto's breath had disappeared, and the speed was so fast that he didn't even know when Naruto had disappeared under his nose. Episode 120. No way. Tenzo had to go to Kakashi in the end. At this time, Naruto had already used the Flying Thunder God technique to come behind Yitsong. When he got up close and personal with Hakura, Naruto planted a mark on her. It's not that I'm worried about her safety, but I think it's just in case. I didn't expect to use it. Sister Yitsong. Naruto's voice came from behind him, which made Hakura stunned. She immediately turned around, and the moment she saw Naruto, she couldn't help but retreat in fright. You. What are you following me for? And when exactly did he keep up? Why must I not feel anything? She is an elite shinobi. In any case, you shouldn't notice a little ghost's approach, right? Naruto smiled and said, don't be surprised, my strength may be above yours. These words made Yitsong look at Naruto carefully, no matter how he looked like his strength was above him, but thinking that he didn't even notice him approaching, he actually believed it a little. Naruto put his hand on his back and continued to walk forward like a little old man. Anyway, I'm here, then let's persuade you again. Don't continue to move forward before you reach Wuin village. It's just a vain death. This phrase again. Is this imp endless? Yitsong is not the kind of person with a violent personality. She frowned directly and continued to walk forward. I don't need you to worry about my affairs. Naruto shrugged. Well, I'm not very nosy anyway. Everyone has their own life. Naruto has already given Hakura advice. She doesn't want to listen, and Naruto can't help it. He is not the kind of person who likes to drag people's heads and make people obedient. He is just an idle man, doing everything just in a happy mood. Yitsong did not speak again, but quickened his pace. She thought that Naruto would leave again soon, but she found that Naruto had been following behind her. This made Yitsong a little impatient, and she said, Little ghost, I advise you not to follow me anymore. Otherwise, I'll do it to you. Naruto looked inexplicable. Who said that I followed you? I am going to the dock to take a boat. By boat? Yitsong wondered. There is only one pier to go to the water country from here, and our destination is Mist Hidden Village. Maybe we may take the same boat. You clearly want to follow me." Naruto was speechless. "What am I following you for? Although you are beautiful, you are not my wife. I went to Wuin Village to meet the big beauty." After speaking, he directly left Yutsung and walked forward. Hakura only felt that Naruto was strange, and the words his personality said were also strange. Now that he is going to the same place as himself, it is even more obvious. She didn't want to go with Naruto, but she couldn't go with Naruto because she couldn't continue to delay time. In the end, as Naruto said, the two really got on the same boat. A cruise ship to the land of water. The cruise ships meet again. Naruto looked at Hakura with a smile. "I didn't expect to get on the same ship again by such a coincidence." Yutsung frowned and did not speak. Seeing that the other party was so cold, Naruto planned to go straight away. But this time it was retained by Yutsung, and she asked in a low voice, "Who are you? Why do you always follow me? Didn't I say that?" "I'm not following you, we just happen to be heading to the same destination. Do you think I'll believe it? If you don't believe it, I didn't let you believe it, didn't I?" These words made Yutsung choke half to death. Finally, combined with what Naruto had said before, she asked, "Then you can always tell me your name, right? Don't you believe what I said? Maybe the name I told you is also fake?" Yutsung. If it weren't for the fact that Naruto was just a 12-year-old child, Yutsung would really have lost his temper. Looked around. There were no people nearby, so everyone went straight in after getting on the boat and did not linger on the deck. So Yutsung said directly to Naruto, "It will take a week to travel from here to the land of water. Why don't we find a place to talk? At the very least, you need to figure out the identity of the person in front of you." Naruto thought for a while and finally agreed, "Okay, chat with beautiful women, I will be happy." He followed Yutsung to find a secluded place, a place where even the staff would not go. By this time, the cruise ship had left the coast. The sea breeze blows on the face, which makes people sober up a lot. Naruto leaned lazily against the edge of the railing, admiring the endless sea. "Say, what are you talking to me about?" As soon as the words fell, the cold kunai pressed against Naruto's neck. If Naruto moved a little, I was afraid that he would be slit his throat. Naruto was not afraid at all, but just glanced at Hakura. "What are you going to do? Kill me? What the hell are you? Why do you know my name? Why do you know that I am going to Wuin Village? Why do you follow me?" She still firmly believed that Naruto was going to follow her. This made Naruto very helpless. He adjusted a more lazy movement and said with a smile, "Anyway, I have time, so let's talk to you. What about me? My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I am a shinobi from Konoha Village, and this time I came to the Land of Waves for a mission. As for why I knew you were going to Wuin Village, it was because I knew everyone here very well. Not only do I know that you are going to Wuin Village, but I also know that you are instructed by your wind shadow to go to Wuin Village as an envoy to make peace." Speaking of this, Yutsung was extremely shocked. Naruto said this, word for word, "Alright." However, Yutsung immediately made a decision, and his eyes showed a fierce light. "I didn't think about you when you were young, but you know so well about my affairs. I'm really sorry, you have to die here today, and the information about my trip to Mist Hidden Village can't be leaked at all." With a force in his hand, he instantly slit Naruto's throat. At that moment, Yutsung actually felt some heartache, because Naruto looked like nothing more than a child. But no way, they are all ninjas, and sooner or later, they will have a day. Touch. The Naruto in front of him turned into several wooden sticks. Avatar? Yutsung was shocked and immediately turned around. Naruto, who was standing 5 meters away from her, beckoned to her. "Sorry, I don't die that easily." Yutsung never expected Naruto to have such strength. However, she didn't mean to let Naruto go, and stomped on her feet and rushed towards Naruto. It's only 5 meters away. She firmly believed that Naruto could be taken down. It's just that when she approached Naruto, before Kuwu could hurt Naruto, she was held by the other party's wrist. Naruto was only 12 years old, but his strength was not like he was only 12 years old. At that moment, Yutsung couldn't move.